on the table, because 63A2 could be one set and 51D could be yet another way of becoming a parliamentary party, irrespective of the reserved seat. So, the minute the independents join a political party off the shelf, forget the reserved seat angle, they become a parliamentary party because the winnings have been brought into a political party off the shelf. That could be yet a third way of becoming a parliamentary party, but has nothing to do with 51D, because उसके लिए तो बाकी requirements भी चाहिए.
ये जो political
with respect, my lord,
the other is that you read it together.
ये जो पार्लियामानी पार्टी है ये 63A के लिए है. ये जो पार्लियामानी पार्टी सिर्फ उसी के लिए
है, उसी के लिए ही है. वही प्रोविजन है जो डील करती है पार्लियामेंट्री पार्टी. मैं तो सिर्फ ये कह रहा हूँ कि
आपको आगे बढ़े,
बस आगे चलता हूँ. बस एक कंक्लूजन यहाँ पे, एक फाइनल सेंटेंस कह के एंड रिटरेटिंग. Independent returns candidates can only join such political party which must have won one seat in a house, because they will only be able to become a member of parliamentary party of that party and no other party which has no seat. Now I come to this last submission, my lord. And this last submission deals with the broader question also. Before this court, you have proceedings under Article 185(3). There is a political party, Sunni Ittehad Council, who's the appellant number 1, along with its chairman, who's appellant number 2. They are aggrieved of the decision of the Election Commission, which was upheld by, they are aggrieved of the decision of Peshawar High Court, which had upheld the decision of the Election Commission, whereunder the reserved seats, reserved seats were not allocated to Sunni Ittehad Council as claimed by it. And they were treated as independents for the purposes of allocation of reserved seats, and consequently the seats went to the other parties in accordance with the formula, in accordance with the rules and the formula which has been followed. My lords, I've also observed that while looking at this list, why can't this court, invoking 187, pass an appropriate order or direction? My respectful submission to this is that 187, and I first want to read it out before making submission of clause 1 of 187. Just quick read. Just want to point out one part of it. 1. I'll just read clause 1, sir. Subject to clause 2 of Article 175, the Supreme Court shall have power to issue such directions, orders, or decrees as may be necessary for doing complete justice. A pause. In any case or matter pending before it. In any case, matter or pending before it, if you may kindly underline it. My lord, Article 187 is a power which has been conferred upon the Supreme Court. It is not a jurisdiction. This power can only be exercised when a case is competently filed and is pending before your lordships under 184, 185 or 188. No independent proceedings can be initiated under 187. It is only...
What does this mean, any case? For doing complete justice in any case...
Or matter pending before it. So it is any case which in the jurisdictions which this court has under 184, 185 or 188, I can't imagine under 186 something of this sort happening, but let's, for the sake of discussion, 186.
There is a case pending.
Yes, but while the case is pending before you, you would look at the case what is made out before you. The case brought before you, the case made out for you, and the case which is being responded to. And while doing so,
खत्म हो गई बात.
अगर देखिए इसमें अगर बात ये है कि अब आपने सिद्दीकी साहब के 2 लेटर्स पे आपने कहा कि जो 2 लेटर दिखाए गए इलेक्शन कमीशन के इख्तियार नहीं थे. आपसे
वो रिस्पॉन्ड कर लेंगे, बट मेरा ख्याल है कि
आपसे एक सवाल पूछना है. आप तो चूंकि 27A में आए हैं, आप फेडरल गवर्नमेंट को रिप्रेजेंट नहीं कर, आप कोर्ट नोटिस पे हैं, तो आपने लॉ पे हमें असिस्ट करना है. आप ये बता दें कि जब नॉमिनेशन पेपर फाइल होती है एक कैंडिडेट कह देता है कि मैं डिक्लेरेशन देता हूँ फलां पार्टी से हूँ और उस पर सर्टिफिकेट भी आ जाता है, विड्रॉल डेट गुजरने के बाद क्या उस कैंडिडेट के पास ये इख्तियार है कि वो विड्रॉ कर जाए? नंबर 1, विड्रॉल डेट गुजरने के बाद, या क्या इलेक्शन कमीशन को किस कानून के तहत ये इख्तियार है कि वो कहते नो नो यू आर इंडिपेंडेंट? ये सवाल, क्योंकि आप अगर देखें 72 में, सेक्शन 72, कैंडिडेट के पास सिर्फ एक ही रेमेडी है कि वो रिटायरमेंट ले रहे हैं। 74 सॉरी जी, सेक्शन 74 ऑफ द एक्ट।
72 सर,
74
72 सर, रिटायरमेंट 72,
रिटायरमेंट 72 रिटायरमेंट
जी।
तो कैंडिडेट अगर एप्लीकेशन दे भी दे कि मैं आज़ाद हूँ, क्या वो आज़ाद मीन्स विड्रॉइंग फ्रॉम द एफिलिएशन ऑफ दैट पार्टी? कैन ही विड्रॉ हिमसेल्फ?
मैं आपको जरा कुछ थोड़ा सा ब्रीफली इस पे एक्सप्लेन करके देना
ये सवाल इम्पोर्टेंट है। देखिए ना, सवाल ये है कि जब ये बात होती है कि वो while we looking at the case from one end, ये सारा इलेक्शन है ना जी, पूरे इलेक्शन में हम एक पोर्शन को पकड़ लिया, हमने कहा SIC पॉलिटिकल पार्टी है कि नहीं और उनके पास रिजर्व सीट्स आती हैं। अब हम जब कंप्लीट जस्टिस की लेंस को खोलते हैं तो हम कहते हैं ठहरो ना, हम आंखें तो नहीं बंद कर सकते इस पे कि SIC पे हम कहाँ से पहुंचे हैं। SIC में इसलिए पहुंचे हैं कि हैड द इलेक्शन कमीशन डिक्लेयर्ड PTI एज अ पार्टी विद whatever 2, 3, 4 कैंडिडेट, independents would have had a choice that there was a PTI also. We all understand that all those independents have won the election because they held out to the public they were PTI people. All those votes were casted for these 84 people because they were PTI. It's obvious. अब having said that, now we say okay, वो सारा चीज जो है हमने नहीं देखना एकदम, और हम ये देखने लग जाए थोड़ा सा पोर्शन, तो फिर कंप्लीट जस्टिस को और हमने क्या करना है इस क्लॉज को कि अगर हम पूरी पिक्चर ही ना देख सके,
वो आपको दिखाया
नहीं, ना दिखाए।
बट मैं ये आपको ये कह रहा हूं,
सुन लेना, कहना चाह रहे हैं कि कंप्लीट जस्टिस को क्या कहाँ लेके जाना है अगर हम ये चीजों पे आंखें बंद करने लग जाएं इधर उधर और घोड़े की तरह इस तरह वो लगा के चलने लग जाएं। कंप्लीट जस्टिस इज टू ब्रॉडन द विजन, सी द होल ट्रांजैक्शन।
अटॉर्नी जनरल
with the limitations.
अटॉर्नी
जी साहब, आपने शायद वो तस्वीर देखी है जो जज की आंखों पे पट्टी होती है, पट्टी ये नहीं होती।
Adding to what my Lord Justice Mansoor Ali Shah has just stated, what you have argued is, in other words, you are asking this apex court, vested with jurisdiction, extraordinary jurisdictions as well, that only look at 185, and thus what would be the effect? The effect would be during these proceedings, one thing has become absolutely obvious, that there has been a grave constitutional violation by excluding a political party on the basis of misinterpretation of the provisions and a judgment of this court. So now, indirectly, this apex court would be validating a grave constitutional violation and thus invoking the doctrine of necessity again. Now this is not an ordinary 185 litigation. It relates to the rights of the people, particularly those who by now is very clear have been disfranchised by an unconstitutional interpretation by a constitutional body, and you want this court to validate it.
And adding to that, I mean, all we want to say, adding to that, this is not a case कि पटवारी ने जमीन किसी की इंटर पार्टी ले ली है तो हमने कहा 185 में देखना है, वो ऑर्डर आपने चैलेंज नहीं किया, आप नहीं कर सकते. This is not that. Please try to look at this as an election matter, which is perhaps something that one has to look into. It's a sui generis. It's a different kind of set of proceedings. Go under 185. We're looking at the electorate, we're looking at the national elections, we're looking, I mean, the apex court, national election, the electorate, the millions of people who voted. What I find very difficult is to look one segment of the election and ignore a very grave illegality that occurred just a minute before it, which led to that problem. So can we not attend it and close our eyes to